Hey, what's going on, guys and gals? In this particular video, this is probably the most advanced video I've tried to do. And this is a scenario. You know, you got one or two people in a band, you need backing tracks, you're using Reaper. You want to play the backing tracks from Reaper. You want to record back into Reaper at the same time. And the first thing that I want to show you is up here on the handheld mic I've got going into channel 20 on the S16. This is going to be the noise floor right over to the left here when I stop speaking. Okay, as you can see, it's running around a -70. Now the second meter over here, this is pre-FX now, guys, okay? And that's this button right here, okay, input pre-FX. This is the drum machine that I have hooked up going into channels 31 and 32. So I'm not going to go over this video too much about how to set up Reaper, other than the fact to show you what you should be looking for. Your ASIO driver, there's the latest driver. I've got 32 inputs and I've got 32 outputs. And what that means is this audio can come from the X32 into Reaper, come back out of Reaper, and go right back into the X32. Okay? Now, another thing that I'd like to show you is I've got Reaper set up just exactly like I have my scene set up in the X32. Okay? I've got a click track on channel 4. The backing left and right, I'm not going to put anything in there. It's kind of hard to do some of these videos. MIDI I don't use. I don't have anything on that channel. Here we go right here, MIDI channel. Okay, as you can see, it's blank. And but now on all the drum channels, we do have the audio. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to play this. And then I'm going to go over into the X32, and I'm going to show you how it's routed. Okay, let's go ahead and do that first. Okay, guys, so here we are in the X32. And we're using X32 Edit. Everything I'm using is the latest versions. As you can see, again, all my labeling, the scribble strips, everything is exactly the way that I have it set up in Reaper. So I've taken the time to add a few FX, through the channel strips. And this is something that you want to do, guys. This is the beautiful thing of this. Once you make this scene, every time that you go out and do a gig, all you've got to do is load this scene along with the same project you have in Reaper. And everything just comes right back in together. Okay? So I've got a couple buses set up. I've got a drum bus here. I've got a little P2 that's coming out of bus 9. And I do these guys just over here so we can get some stuff coming up on the meters. Okay, I'm just going to bring these up. Again, you want to take your time when you do this. And we can throw in the handheld mic there too. Okay. So I just basically assigned everything up here on the drums and this handheld mic to my mix bus, okay? Now, the auxiliary ends. Guys, you can, CD left and CD right, okay? You can bring audio in that way for your backing tracks. Remember now, you're one or two people sitting there getting ready to play. Now, the flip side of this scenario is there will be a time when this band has a full band. All the members will be there. And therefore, you would have a totally different scene, a totally different routing. You would simply plug into the XLR inputs that correspond with your inputs up here. Okay? So if the whole band comes in, you wouldn't necessarily need the MIDI, the backing tracks. You may need the MIDI. I don't know. I don't know the exact scenario. But, you would still have your drum kit. You would still have your other mics. You've got your bass, your rhythm guitars, your lead guitars, and then you've got your Vox. Okay? So up and routing. To the inputs right here, we're going to use a little user in and user out here. I'm getting a little more comfortable with it. because that's what we're going to do. We've got to bring in audio from the computer, and we want to make sure that we don't burn up all these blocks of 8, okay? Because there may become a time where you might have to use these. So here it is. These first 4 channels, input 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, let's look at what they are. There are 2 backing tracks, the MIDI and the click track. Okay, so at that point, starting with the keys, we want to bring those back into the regular XLR. So when we come back into routing, you can see right back over here, we're only using those 4. Okay, if we come up here and say, okay, here we are, card 4, and I just wanted to kind of show you, you want to make sure you line these up exactly, okay, because it is so easy to get your inputs off by simply coming into the wrong block. Okay, so there's our local 5. This is our local XLR 5, guys. This is the fifth XLR input on the back of the X32 rack. Okay, remember, local is always the rack. And you simply just bring this down. Okay? So, over here now, local in 9, 10, and 11. Okay? And then, as we come into 9, 10, and 11, we're still on the local XLR inputs. Okay? And we go over to the card now. And you see, I just messed that up. And I should not have done that. I wish there was an undo button on this, but that's all right. So we need to take this local in 12 and put it back to the card 12. So we come back over here to the card. Right here. See, card 12. And that's what confused me so much at the very beginning when I was trying to learn this. And I probably just confused you. I promise you, I have confused myself so many times putting this together that it's not even funny. But normally, I don't do this type of a setup, okay? I'm just trying to help somebody else out. So, as you see in the routing now, the card, nothing here has changed. The XLRs, nothing has changed. Okay, we still have the mix buses. As you can see, number 9 is coming over out of the XLR output 9. And my mains are running out of 15 and 16 on the S16. Okay? Now my auxiliary outs, I always do left, right, left, right, left, right. Okay? Because I feed outboard gear with this. So this is what I need it for me. You can set it up however you see fit. I don't have anything going out of the user outs. Okay? So what happens now? What does this do for us? Okay? Well, let's go ahead and play through Reaper. And let's just listen to a little bit of what we got coming on now. And then we're going to come up here and we're going to look at our meters. Okay, guys, if you notice, channel 4 is muted. That is the click track. But it's still showing as it's coming in through the inputs 1 through 16, right up here in the meters, okay? So let's go ahead and solo that out and just listen to that. Okay? So let's go ahead and take that solo off. And I'm going to pull these meters down. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off from Reaper, and we're going to look at our drum machine. Now, when we come over to the drum machine, that's on channel 31 and 32. I'm going to go ahead and just start it, and we'll watch what it does. And the reason I wanted to show you that, guys, is if you look right over here under routing on the inputs, we haven't changed anything from the AES50, as you can see now. Okay, that's where that belongs, in that group, because it's the last 2 channels. Okay, so let me go ahead and turn that off. Now, this was the key thing. you've got it playing through here, and now you want to record it back in the Reaper as you do this. And this is the benefit. You know, when you get that perfect take or you get that recording that you like, you can then use those for your backing tracks when there's other band members that cannot show up. Okay? So let's jump back over to Reaper. Now, as you can see, I've got these armed right here, the keys, the click track. You're going to be playing these, okay, out of Reaper. So you can't play them and record them to this particular track. I'm sure there's a way. Right now, I just don't know what it is. But I do have all the other things in here, as well as the drums that'll be playing. As you can see here, the handheld mic. If I bring it up to where it's supposed to be, you'll see I'm coming in there right around that -18, which is just exactly where I like it. And then you've got the drum machine over here. So we're going to start recording these 3 tracks, okay? And again, this is a template. When you come up to File, Project Templates, you can see, you can save this. And I can just say, no band members. Okay. So that's it. I could totally shut Reaper down right now, and I'm not going to do it because of the time restraints on the video. But I could bring that project template right back up, and this is exactly what I'll be looking at. Okay. So I'm just going to simply hit the record button. And then I'm going to hit play. Okay, guys, as you can see now, I went ahead and come over and stop the recording. And it's asking me if I want to save all these tracks, and I am going to say save all. And there we go. Okay, here's our handheld mic. Now keep in mind, guys, we didn't have anything coming in now on these other channels. Okay, I know it's a little confusing. I hope it hasn't been too confusing. But just make sure that you keep your tracks armed, the ones that you want to record. Have your DAW properly set up to talk back and forth, okay? Keep them labeled the same way that you're going to keep your scene labeled, and you should have no problem whatsoever, all right? Take care, God bless, and we are out of here.